Hey, Kerry here, and I want to thank you and welcome to my YouTube channel as I start this journey of uncertainty and not knowing where it's going to go, but knowing that it's been on my heart and on my mind for a few years. And one of my favorite quotes, an old Chinese proverb, is the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time to plant that tree is today. And that's exactly what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. So most of the content that you can expect on this channel is going to be great information and insight and little nuggets and tools that everybody can use. But a lot of the stories and the relatability will be to men, right? Men, and through me growing up in my younger years, and even from stories that I remember when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, and then through teenager and college stories, and we won't get into too many college stories, but just navigating what that looked like and just the emotions and things I experienced there. And then as it was, things were like getting married, being a young father and a family, and being involved with different businesses, and being involved with the active life of a dad with kids, seeing what that was all about. And then, you know, some of the darker chapters in my life, and navigating separation and divorce and what that looked like, the uncertainty, the emotion that kind of was involved with that, and sharing some stories in there just so that it's relatable to men, right? And knowing that guys in that space and in those chapters know that they're not alone as well. And then in, you know, after in kind of moving through those stories, the next things you can expect are stuff about relationships, right? Digging deep on how I could have been a better person and shown up better in my relationships and with my kids, and not that I was terrible in any of those, but just knowing that there's always room for improvement. And with that ownership of that comes growth and expansion, and becoming the best version of myself, and encouraging other men to do that before those rock bottom moments in our lives that tend to hit, whether that's through relationships or health and fitness or careers or whatever that is. So so then as my story moves forward, what it looks like, you know, what it was like diving back into the dating world after an 18-year hiatus, and some pretty interesting things there that I learned, and what that's all about, and just knowing that it's all about how you show up in this world, and applying mindset and motivation and manifestation, right? And whether you believe in all that or not, it's real. And I've used it in my life and implemented it and had success with it. And that's what I want to share with you as a viewer on this channel. So as I mentioned, what can you expect? Actionable tools and insight and stuff that you can learn to grow. And none of the stuff is just things that I've read about or learned and go, oh, I'm going to go and flog this out on the internet. No, it's stuff that I've actually tried and learned. The philosophies, a combination from Greek philosophy like Stoics, and stuff from years ago, biblical references, and taking those common denominators right through from like the 20s and 30s and 40s, and Wallace Wattles, and you know, the authors of the early days, right? And Napoleon Hill, and going through in the 50s through 60s with a lot of different, you know, teachers, that Jim Rohn and you know, like I got a lot of coming to mind here, but you know, the teachers that have taught me and that I've used a lot of their material to become better and navigate that. And as you just witnessed, that's what you can also expect on this channel, is imperfect videos, right? I'm going to do most of my stuff in one take. Like, it's not about the editing for me. It's about being real. And honestly, I look forward to the day that we look back and we both have a really good laugh at some of the videos that I've shot along the way and published and gone through there. But the big thing that you can really expect and trust that you will get from me, and I can promise you this from the bottom of my heart, is that you will get vulnerability, you will get reality, you will get real talk, real stories, real emotion, and not from the point of sympathy, but from the point of growth and realizing that you're not alone, and it's okay to share that stuff. It doesn't make you weak if you feel emotion and share that emotion with others, right? It's from the point of realizing what we feel and knowing that we don't want to stay there. And then what do you do to move forward as a result for that, right? And so in that vulnerability, like I said, we'll share some stories, right? You know, I mentioned, you know, through relationship stuff, health and fitness, lots of stories there, what it's like as a man to, you know, to look at your body and be not happy with what you see in the mirror, right? And the emotions you feel. But what do you do with that, right? And how do you navigate that from the point of growth and being better? What are the tools that I used? I mean, and that's even going from 256 pounds at one point in my life to eventually winning my pro card in natural bodybuilding, and then just realizing that the success wasn't just in the program or going to the gym, but it's, you know, mentally and shifting that mindset and the things that are involved with your brain and how it's so powerful with our bodies and our emotions, and it's all putting together. The self-image end of things, turning, you know, things that I once believed were insecurities and that people would make fun of me for and shame me for and I should be embarrassed about, and turning those into something that now I have more confidence about all of that, like so many of those things that I never thought I would. Some stories about parenting, you know, mentioned as a parent in a traditional household, you know, when I was married, what that looks like and what I learned, and also as a single parent, right? And realizing that it's not easy sometimes being a single parent, right? What that looks like in relationships with, you know, you're co-parenting with, and what that looks like as a person when you're, you know, single parenting, balancing your parenting duties as well as your personal life, and kind of, you know, showing up as your best self for that. So talk about some leadership stuff and everything else in there too. So if that sounds interesting to you, thank you for joining me on my journey. I would love for you to be a part of this and share in my little growth journey as we move. And who knows, I mean, my mission statement personally is global impact through exploiting my gifts in the service of others. So that's what you can expect from me. So if that sounds something you'd like to do, I invite you to like, subscribe, you know, share my videos, join the channel as we grow. So I am grateful for you. Thank you for tuning in today. Buckle up, because we're going for a ride. As always, sending peace, love, and positive vibes your way.